How rich were they in terms that we can understand today? There are several ways of answering that question, and some produce odd results. For example, a recent and otherwise excellent biography, I think, of Brown calculates that his salary at Stowe of £25 in 1750 equates to 1741, actually, isn't it? Equates to £2,129 per annum today. That, of course, is way below the modern minimum wage, let alone the living wage, which George Osborne is bringing in. It's inconceivable that the head gardener of a garden as great as Stowe should have been paid so little. The problem is that that conversion to modern money has been made using the retail price index. Now, that's fine for making short-term comparisons. The rule of thumb is it's probably about right for comparing things during one's own lifetime. But it's very misleading over longer periods. There are a number of other ways of making the conversion, but one of them, which I'll show you, is to use an index of gross domestic product per capita, and to compare things to average gross domestic product per capita. That captures not only price changes, which of course have been enormous since the 17th and 18th centuries, but also, more importantly, the growth and increasing complexity of our economy. So if one does that, one can see at the top right-hand corner that Henry Wise was extremely rich, that his fortune, even if it was only £100,000 rather than £200,000, can plausibly be equated to leaving £32 million today. Sorry, that was the purchase of Warwick Priory. The amount at death is 300 million. Sorry, I've left out one line from the slide. Yes, he purchased Warwick Priory for about £10,000, which is the equivalent of about 32 million. At death, he left, let's say, £100,000, about 300 million in modern terms. Lancelot Brown, you can see the correct translation of his salary, probably about £60,000, much more plausible for the head gardener of one of the largest and most important gardens in the country. You can see the value of his contracts at nearly £750 million over the last 22 years of his life. The purchase of the Long Stanton estate and the bequests at death, which, as I said, ignore the residue and the value of his estates, of around £20 million. And then Paxton, equally successful financially, quite a large salary when he went to Chatsworth, and a substantial bequests at death.